He's bringing it with the couriers, yeah.
First point to Exhort.
I think he wants to put a little bit more pressure on a Void Spirit because Void Spirit just generally does better than Invoker. I was a little surprised how Void Spirit actually does well in the lane against the Invoker. So have an extra little bit of damage going for the Forge Spirit, and because Void Spirit can't deal with the summons, at least early on. So that's going to be an extra damage, extra bit of harassment coming out from him. They will play the Shadow Shaman as a position 5. Not the biggest fan, but it's very similar to Nick's position 5. If you like survive through the laning stage without too many deaths and you get the levels, the hero is pretty insane.
A lot of the EU teams have been doing this a lot. BetBoom, particularly on Soneko, they almost prefer to run the Shaman 5, and I think their logic is more that he's useful regardless.
Oh, what a play from Bryle. He actually goes in there, tanks the Sunstrike just to be able to deny the range creep. So a lot of mana. This is 175 mana for a deny. Half his mana pool gone.
Well, that's a pretty big deal here for Bryle. And that's also the point of the Exhort, right?
It's also the mental damage.
Yeah. The mental damage of knowing you went for Exhort, you tried to win the lane, and you still didn't get the early deny.
He has one more Sunstrike for one more creep.
BZM, of course, one of the, I think, the youngest player in this tournament.
Yeah, I believe you said this is the youngest against the oldest player. Moon Meander against BZM.
BZM, back when they were in Creep Wave, their Twitter guy told us he's called BZM because it's best zoomer mid.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know that.
Well, now that makes sense. It's not far away from the truth.
Yeah. And his real name, Lacoste, which I can't pronounce, I forgot, but it translates to the gift of God from God.
Bogdan, yeah. God-given.
God-given,
yeah,
there we go.
Very similar to my language because he is Bulgarian.
Yep.
Lane so far going good for CK. He has 7 CS on the top lane. I hear an arrow.
And the bottom lane, we are seeing a little bit of harassment towards SabeRLighT, but just to kick him out of the lane. With the Shaman kill potential always available, Moon Meander gonna start stacking instead. As SabeRLighT, as long as you keep your distance, you're gonna be fine. We'll see how the top lane goes for them as well, as we're seeing Amar start to get the first level static link, Plasma Field as well. We could see some harassment perhaps against Timado. For now, there's going to be a pretty relaxed lanes until Mirana gets moving.
Mirana has been in the triangles stacking and also doing Mirana stuff, arrowing the big creep, giving some solo XP to the Underlord bottom, and now he's dragging the creep wave. It's going to become more difficult to play this bottom lane once Shaman gets another point in Shackles. That's probably going to be on level 3, and also Monkey King getting a second point in Jingu.
So that's a turning point for the lane. Do you think the Mirana needs to... Like, can you rotate? Does the Underlord just drag waves like he does here and just plays with the stacks?
There's a possibility. Yeah, there is definitely a kill threat because Void Spirit on the mid lane, he does have that Ether Remnant, so there's going to be the kill threat for sure.
The Invoker, 2 points in Exhort, 1 current point in Quas. Trying to, as you said, go for the Force Spirits. See how this is going for him against Bryle. Kind of even for now, though. Particularly because of the early deny. And really coming into play here for...
Oh, yeah, that one deny actually making the difference. It's not, but we'll pretend that it is.
Look, it's the small things in Dota, right? It's the small laning mistakes. Moon Meander is being chased here by Seb.
Look at Sebastian. He's just following Mirana. Doesn't allow him to play Dota. And on the bottom lane, Monkey King is getting the solo XP. SabeRLighT, he made the new lane for himself, so-called the 6th lane.
Yes. Which is right between the tier 2 and tier 3. Had to be extra safe to make sure the Shaman couldn't just reach him. And Moon Meander is trying to run away from Seb now. Almost accomplished it, forced to use a leap just to get away from this really, really annoying position 5 Shaman. He did get Urn at least, so maybe now's the time to go get a kill. Nope, it's arrow for creep instead.
You're not getting what you came for.
Still 0-0. Moon Meander will go for the runes. So is Seb.
Oh, look, Bryle.
Seb might be in trouble here.
He followed too far. Moon Meander wants to punish this. We have Leap. In fact, the first blood will happen elsewhere, but Seb will still be killed by the last hit from Bryle. As BZM thinking of avenging his teammate, going for Bryle. Fair amount of damage because the Exhort Sunstrike is ready. Will he hit it though? Is he even going to try? BZM keeping in his inventory or off cooldown just in case, as Bryle goes for the water rune, denied by BZM.
There's the Urn charge. But no mana. No mana for Arrow. Good rotation there from Moon Meander. He secures the rune for Bryle, and also they do grab a kill. Also, I believe Taiga died.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised by that. Were you? Is there? I mean, I guess CK Bane lane, right? You can always kill the Ayo if he's a bit out of position. Razor can't really protect you much.
Yeah, there's not much Razor can do. He's still saving a point. We see that Razor has 1-1 and is about to hit level 4. So still deciding what needs to be done in this lane. He has double Wraith Band just to be able to deal better with the right clicks. Puts another point in static link, and yeah, that's gonna get disrupted. Bane is very tanky. Has a Fairy Fire, Infused Raindrop, and a Magic Stick, plus a Healing Salve as well. That's probably gonna be used on Chaos Knight. A little bit of a battle here. Seb does get the Observer Board.
The real battle in this early game is Meander and Seb. These two guys just stuck at the hip, which is giving a lot of space, of course, to Yuragi. Pretty much a free lane. Now kicking SabeRLighT just in case, getting a bit of more healing here. As Meander goes back to the triangle to get some stacks. And Timado can always disjoint the static link. This one took a bit longer, but he is fast enough to survive. What is the first play if it's not the Mirana there? If she gets cancelled early, Lacoste, where's the timing in the early for TSM?
I think their lineup is more oriented on getting the pickoffs, because they do need items to be able to team fight SabeRLighT. He's doing okay, like nothing spectacular considering what he's playing into, so can't rely too much. He's also very sluggish as a hero, so gonna take a bit more time to come online. It's like also CK, he wants to farm the creeps, does not want to join too early. All those ultis are going to be used to get some farm, so Void Spirit, Mirana, that needs to be the combo that is very active for TSM.
Good. We'll see as Bryle has now reached level 6 as a haste room, but Timado on the top lane. Thanks to Dubu, he's going to be fine. Nobody rotating from OG to secure that either. As Yuragi, we might be feeling a little bit precious. Meander did come here for a little bit, but
Bryle is coming with the haste.
They are. Going to be up top, Bryle though. It's kind of a tough kill here. Sunstrike is going to hit down bottom, and that's going to be the kill that we're looking for the whole time. SabeRLighT baited into it because of Yuragi's stun.
There were a couple of different item builds I've seen on Monkey King. Seems like Yuragi is committing, going for that Echo Saber. It seems like he wants to be able to get active a little bit early on. Timado, he's out of mana. Like, they are forcing him to use these stuns early on. Dubu does have a healing salve.
And is forced to join here.
Well, he does not. Never mind. I just lied. It's okay.
Yeah, which is why Amar wants to play this aggressively. Plasma Field used. Timado slow, so is Dubu, but Nightmare will keep the Razor at bay. Io tanking this Nightmare. That signals for the TP, and Bryle is going to be punishing Taiga for this aggression. Easy kill for TSM. Bryle really looking for the rotation as Meander covers mid.
A bit too aggressive there. He already used the static link. I think they needed an extra static link to be able to play underneath the tower.
Sure.
And now Meander on the mid lane, collecting some XP because Bryle did TP. 2 rotations from Bryle. Couldn't like find too much. I think he was the one that got the last hit there, but yeah, it was
that was it. Yeah, that was it. Bryle is now going to be aggressed here by the 3 other heroes coming to join him. Hex to stop the Bane. Shackles will settle for the Bane instead. The arrow covered nicely there to make sure that Shackles doesn't end. But Bryle gets away, so it's really a 5 taking a gank essentially.
Pretty much. And BZM gets the last hit, finishes his Hand of Midas, straight into Hand of Midas. Just bought like a raindrop, finished the magic stick, full magic wand, and now Hand of Midas, the extra gold and extra experience will kick in. Meander, as I mentioned, that Urn of Shadows will be turned into Spirit Vessel. A lot of value in this game, especially against Invoker and Monkey King, to be able to reduce the healing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, bottom lane again.
As SabeRLighT is in trouble, Sunstrike is being sent out. SabeRLighT will be hit by it as the Boundless Strike finishes him off. Yuragi gonna get another kill. And OG is actually the one setting the tempo in the beginning. But bottom, Bryle wants to change this. Going for Seb, at least a 5. They'll settle for this. Nightmare will set up for the arrow. And they'll at least take an okay trade for TSM. Losing their offlaner in the process, though.
They got something. Underlord struggling, as probably everyone expected, playing into Monkey King Shaman. Like, this hero can't really do much, and your position 4 is Mirana. So Meander trying to set up some stacks. Oh, he even TP'd top. They need to help him out.
SabeRLight, is he just gonna die twice in a row? It seems like it, but here comes Timado, the carry, helping up the offlaner. That's Browse on TPing as well. SabeRLight will die, but at least in exchange they got a Mar. So TSM not too sad about this just yet. Well, did cancel that, or it got canceled, not sure.
Yuragi is playing so aggressive. He's level 8.5. They're using this Monkey King. He's very close to finishing off his Echo Saber, just 1,000 gold away. And yeah, being very active on TPing to match the rotation. They felt that they needed an extra hero to bring there. So very nice read from Yuragi.
Also love the casual Orb of Venom, right? Not turning it into a full Orb of Corrosion. Just to speed up that Echo Saber. X down bottom, plus the Shackles. No meander. Where's your damage going? At least he can leap, and that's going to break the link in Amar. Not assigned to follow this any further.
There was a Sunstrike available, but not enough damage. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 points in Exort, and now he's going to start putting in some extra points in Quas as well.
It didn't even move.
We saw, so it's full Quas Exort build. It's been forever since I've seen this, honestly. As Yuragi top lane, Timado does have a Quelling Blade, but he has to guess what tree he's on, and he's going on the deep trees to make sure Timado can't reach him in time. Did you expect this to go Quas Exort? They talk about Quas Wex in the panel, actually.
They did. I'm not an invoker expert by any means, but yeah, considering he's playing into Void Spirit, it sounds good. It sounds better to be able to just like get him to the items, and feels like they want to hit the critical mass with the lineup that they got, so they don't want to be like too aggressive. They know that good arrow.
That arrow is fantastic, and Dubu's coming in with a Fiend Script. That's going to secure the kill against BZM. With the Catapult still alive, by the way, so they have to TP here to defend. It's going to be able to relocate, catching down Moon Meander in the backlines, punishing the Marana for her transgressions. Catapult will finally fall. No push from TSM. But TSM is waiting for the IO relocate to come back. Taiga comes back alone. Reality Rift sets up for that kill. Thanks to the Chaos Bolt combination, Timado at least will punish this.
They got the big kill. That arrow setting things up. Fiend's Grip as well to follow it just to be sure. Seb won't drop the wards. There is no catapult whatsoever, but the damage is going to be done.
Even rotate Pain to help.
A little bit, you know, some. Nothing too good.
No, it's like two spits from a Dragon Knight, right? This is what it feels like. That's pretty underwhelming. But does TSM have any push themselves for tower right now?
They don't. They do not. Like having Void Spirit as your mid laner, Bane, Marana, these heroes just don't do enough damage early on. Underlord, you know, he might get some damage if he is farming, if he's staying alive, and the CK, all he wants to do is pretty much farm up with his ulti. Stacks, SabeRLight took care of some of those stacks in the triangle.
Yeah, they're recovering him. Okay, he's only 300 gold away from Amar. Of course, Amar went for the most efficient build, double Wraith Band to Falcon Blade. Just
oh yeah, the casual.
Yeah.
Just to spice it up there.
I like it, you know, you just go for these items to try to be impactful early. Is the Razor Masks right back in Dota 1, and, you know, they synergize well with the hero, thematically speaking.
Oh, back in Dota 1 days, Razor with the Maelstrom. The chain build.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Monkey King, they cut down his tree here. Yuragi could be in trouble as the Enthronement sets up for this Pit of Malice. Yuragi, though, getting killed by Taiga and actually managing to hold his own, now destroying SabeRLight. This is a repeat of the lane, Lakoski just came in and died.
Yeah, SabeRLight, you know, felt like he needed something. They do even get the Observer Ward, and yeah, it feels like it's always a trade. Whatever they do, TSM, they are able to match and find something in return. But good mischief usage. So the tree was cut down, but he still manages to actually get it because there was a couple of healings, you know, coming out from Taiga.
Yeah.
He got his own tree.
Under attack.
He got his own tree? No, I think that was the Void Spirit.
Was it the Void Spirit or was it the monkey?
I don't think the monkey can...
I don't think he would do it, but, you know, maybe it happened. Because, like, in the last replay, I haven't seen Void Spirit on the screen. He was close, but...
He was close, yeah, I agree. That's a good point, actually. I don't know if it was... Well, I have to guess.
Is under attack.
Never mind. Probably wasn't him. It would be funny if it was.
Can you imagine that was the next level bait by Yuragi, cutting down his own tree because he knew the IO would save him? That would actually be my favorite play. Bottom lane, Timado is going to push out this tower, by the way. He's been solo. We're going to trade tier 1s in the end. Phantasm, still not available. Now Timado needs it, really.
We'll get the last hit, and he's going into BKB. I like that more. He's not going for Echo Saber. He's trying to fit in second item BKB just to be able to deal with the invoker spells and also shaman spells.
Yeah, like it. Also early well, I mean, this is what Dota is right now, right? You wait until your cores get your BKBs, and then you just ram down the enemy lanes, try to kill them as quickly as possible. Ace is gonna do the same thing, actually, going for his own BKB.
Yeah, pretty standard, besides the 3 items that he bought before from the offlane. I mean, you need to have, like, something from the offlane. It's not your safe lane Razor that gets as much farm. He's still up there in the middle, but yeah, once you hit that BKB timing, you're gonna feel pretty good. Like, this is what they're gonna be looking into, like this BKB timing on Razor.
Bryle. Now they go for Amar. Amar avoids at least the 8th Remnant, which is not too bad. In fact, Seb counter-initiates onto Dubu. Amar starts to steal damage from Bryle as they kill off Dubu in the backlands. Bryle does manage to get away.
A little bit off mark there with the Remnant. Arrow was already flying. So just making sure that it doesn't happen when it matters in the mid and late game. And now inside the pit.
Hey, they go quickly. They do have the Shaman, but they just used up the wards. How fast will this Roche be? No minus armor at all, but they have Alacrity. Even Sunstrike to speed it up. TSM, they're looking to fight this. Or at least they're surrounding the pit. If not, there's just a bunch of time wasted. And in fact, it will be as they just go and farm the
snakes. They're farming the Shaman wards.
All right.
So 16 minutes in, this is going to be Roshan for OG. Gonna need another tech. BZM will pick it up.
Okay, so what's the advantage? What does the Invoker taking the H tell you?
Seems like Monkey wants to farm up a little bit more. He can get the BKB if he needs to, because he has Mithril Hammer and can disassemble Echo Saber, so he's just a recipe away, 1,000 gold. We'll decide what he needs. Like, if he dies once, he's definitely turning that into a BKB.
Yep, that's why he started the Maelstrom by the Mithril.
Avo.
Well, in SA, for example, we didn't see this very often, though. They would forget to disassemble the Echo Saber a couple.
Oh, yeah. I asked it to specifically ask the team why they didn't do it.
And they
with 2 Echo Sabers, yeah. Wukong's command.
Timado will just run out of the circle.
And no Wukong's command.
TSM, they'll try to take this tower mid, and they'll accomplish it. They're like, okay, I guess if you're going to use that circle like that. OG doesn't have the most cash outside of the Shaman, right? So, well, I guess Invoker, but Quas Extort, much less cash than the Quas Wex, no Tornado to be abusing.
Maybe they were expecting this double damage on Void Spirit, because he can do quite a lot. I mean, they do have a Dispel mechanic if needed from the Tornado. But yeah, this Underlord, we didn't talk too much about him, except having a rough time in the laning stage. He is recovering, still in the middle of the pack, has Rod of Atos, and going into Shard. You told me this Shard is like really good. People do like to pick it up because it ticks faster and gives you 3 extra counts.
Yep. I think it's just, especially for the Underlords that are not Amar, right? Where you're like, oh, I'm actually an offlaner. Then the Shard is pretty nice. Gives you a lot. And it's a relatively cheap item. Very good power spike at minute 15, especially once the 8 is already completed.
It's time!
We're going to see a Moonlight Shadow, by the way. The arrow won't hit Seb. But with SabeRLighT coming in, Seb is as good as dead. In fact, SabeRLighT decides not even to go through the gate.
Gate is very good response to IO's relocate, because you can also bring not just yourself, but the rest of the team. He caught him.
Yeah, he did. And there's the Firestorm taking him down a little bit, but Taiga, tanky enough. He does have a mechanism soon, and that's going to be a big power spike, because it's going to coincide with the BKB on the Razor, Lacoste.
So double BKB timing. Razor just needs to use the courier. I like that he actually swapped things around. BKB is a safer choice. They do still have 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis, so they want to use something. Get some kind of advantage. I mean, right now it's 3k gold lead for TSM FTX.
They've been farming pretty well, but overall OG hasn't really been running at them that much either. The objectives are kind of even with a slight advantage at TSM. We're gonna see BZM also going for a Blink Dagger. And not yet available though, even though he has the gold for it. Seb is setting up for a kill. There's the Shackles. Go for CK here. As the Nightmare tries to save him, but the Sunstrike wakes him up rudely. Timado has a TP away. Is the damage sufficient? It's not with the armlet. They have to settle instead for a simple Bane. OG once again failing to get the big fish. Only getting the small minnow.
Yeah. Getting a good read, understanding that with the BKB, he can actually TP out,
Radiant's middle
toggles the
tower
armlet
is
as well
under
while
attack.
TPing, and it's only going to be Dubu that is going to go down. They are also putting more points in Enfeeble, so the healing reduction, combine that with the Spirit Vessel, is going to be great. But Moon Meander, what a greedy bill. Look at that. Going into Ags. I mean, he's finding the farm. Like, he's almost as farm as his offlaner, pretty much. I don't know, last time I've seen, the last couple of times I've seen this item, I wasn't really impressed. But if they're playing this farm game, it might pay off.
I've seen a fair amount of people try it recently, the Ags, because, you know, the amount of damage it gives is pretty great. A lot of people just claim there's just no better way to use the farm on Mirana once you get the Vestal. Usually the first big item, right? Some people prefer the Yules. Would you like that setup a bit more, maybe? Do you think they really are like...
I'm a big fan of Lotus Orb here, especially against Razor and Shaman. 4-second Hex, 4-second stun, never mind. Speaking of Shaman, mistakes were made.
Yep.
Moon Meander Light Shadow being used. Jump on him in.
Ayo, once again, the sacrificial lamb, but this time he has a mech and a tether. So they commit for this. The Hex will catch the CK, but he has a haste rune, so he's going to be able to make it out of here for now, unless, actually, Razor's faster than Timado with a haste rune, apparently. Here comes Uragi as well with a boundless strike, but Timado needs to make it in time. It leaves Dubu behind. Timado runs away. That's crazy how fast.
Razor almost faster than the haste. Yeah, they, once again, they lose Dubu. They're forced to use a BKB.
They broke the tree with the gate. And that's going to catch Uragi with the arrow setting up. The damage aside, but they need a little bit more. SabeRLighT finally joins them. Uragi has time to activate the BKB. SabeRLighT, you shouldn't have gone through the gate. It only leads you to hell.
I think that's what happened when we were talking that he cut his own tree. I think that was the Fiend's gate.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so that's a good like counterplay, but he baited himself. This might be a return kill. Timado gets the stun. It's going to be an easy one.
Yeah, they get the 8th Remnant. Uragi's out of BKB. Boundless Strike will not help you here. As Bryle, let's see, does he have any extra steps? In 2 seconds, he'll have it. And that's going to allow him to get closer. They use Bryle to rinse first. Bryle, will you jump? They were just baiting out that BKB with Kaya's Bolt. Bryle playing it safely. Now he jumps instead of to Taiga. Taiga, much easier target with the Vessel especially. You'll be blown up, but Amar will get to live.
Moon Meander getting all these kills. I mean, he's just 1,000 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. 20 minutes on Mirana. That's going to be pretty big. Dubu was trying to find an opening. They set the ward.
Being chased down. The statogram and Dubu regrets this. There was no opening. The only opening was his own corpse.
Needed that coin.
Every single time someone on side of TSM dies, it's Dubu or Dubu +1.
I mean, a lot of them has been him tanking ganks or, you know, dying for one of his cores, right?
Ooh, Seb trying to set things up top.
He is. That Hex once again into SabeRLighT with the Wukong's command. Even slow with the tether here. SabeRLighT, he's tanky, but he's very, very slow. This slug is going to be salted.
Nice opening from Seb. Like, this is your position 5 Shaman that has his spells maxed out. I've even seen it from position 4 Shamans not going for more points in Ether Shock just to be able to control the team fight. And this is also Shaman without like any cast range, no Blink Dagger yet, still very far from it. I mean, you're playing 5 in the end. They might share some of these like sentry responsibilities early on just to be able to get the Blink Dagger on Shaman.
Yeah, that's actually what Bepuk does well with the Soneko Shaman as well. As a Seb, you said sentry responsibilities, and we saw Seb's face. That's you can read into his eyes, I suppose.
I don't know if I can, but yeah,
If you're an armchair analyst, though, that's special. Thank you for that again. Yep.
It's like buy sentries.
If you can read lists like that. BZM just got his BKB.
Gotta listen to your elderly. Buy sentries. I'm telling you right now. At least a couple. And Io actually buys it. Let's go. I see one in the stash. Might need to buy an extra.
As the ward's placed, and you can see why Dubu's dying so much. He's pretty much on warding duty here for TSM. It's okay to die. He knows the farm is going to go to Moon Meander, who has completed his axes on the way here. And the courier. Oh. Where's he getting the... Oh, he does. Yeah, he has. As Uragi himself going to be going for Scotty next.
Seems like the great fact is gonna get abused throughout this major. Combined with any kind of other damage reduction, we've seen Pugna being extremely popular with the Nether Ward, plus that, plus magic resistance as well. So the spells are not dealing damage. First time this major, Aghanim Scepter bought on Mirana. So we don't have any info to compare this with. Smoke from TSM FTX. They're looking for something. They would definitely love to have Void Spirit with the Aghanim Scepter. He's 1,000 gold away. That's a big item. Being able to silence Shaman in the back lines and also being able to deal with IO.
Now the own smoke by OG. They both want to preserve the high ground. TSM playing it safely with the smoke. They just got scanned, however. And OG could surprise them. The scan, giving him a lot of information. They can probably assume there's a smoke around here. Amar needs to lead the way. Yuragi joining him as well. Yuragi jumps. He's going to be the scout here. Yuragi jumps now onto them. And they find the main first. They want to kill him. Dubu's gone. Ryle, he is going to be killed off in a matter of seconds as well. And the Hex catches SabeRLighT. Seb has his number. And poor SabeRLighT will die. Moon Meander at least manages to get away for now. But they are trying to find it here. BZM linking forward.
He was going for a kill. Might get it.
Another leap with a vessel. He's sticking down, but it's not going to be enough.
As a BKB, if he ever feels threatened, not going to pop it. Doesn't even flinch. Amar the flincher. Not doing it. Great fight, great opening from OG. There was vision provided by Monkey King and then Seb, and also double boundless strike connecting on people. Seb trying to find some gold to be able to get that gold for the Blink Dagger. Then it becomes very difficult, and we can see Taiga playing with Amar in these fights just to be able to provide him, like, because there was no real threat coming onto Yuragi. He felt very safe with the BKB. That's the problem. Like, their spells don't do much during the BKBs, and then they need to reset. They do have a Fiend's Grip, but it's very difficult for Dubu to be able to try to make stuff happen. Just in the middle of the fight, try to use the Fiend's Grip. That ain't happening.
Taiga clapping for his team to, get him pumped up. Always important to have that morale, especially with your captain missing. Yuragi. It's really just SabeRLighT. They want to tell him, you shouldn't have come to this major, SabeRLighT. You should have stayed home. And SabeRLighT gets hexed now. They even commit the Wukong's command. Amar is here.
He's having a rough one. 0, 8, and 4 every single time. He just dies to Monkey. It's a tough matchup. I mean, it's one of those counter picks. Roshan about to be alive one more time in 5 seconds.
Yes, he'll soon be alive. For now, he's non-existent. When will he respawn? There we go. We get it. Who has vision of it, though? That's the question. That's Yuragi. Oh, he's going to be walking in. There we go. OG knows the Roshan's up. TSM can probably guess, but TSM will be losing Dubu a bit too quickly. However, Taiga falls together with him. As Timado got stunned by the Boundless Strike, activates his own BKB. SabeRLighT joining in. The BKBs have been used now on OG. They could try to punish this. The Aether to catch the Invoker. BZM is in trouble. There's the grip to secure it. But
Yuragi in the back lines.
They can continue this. They're going to go for the CK. Timado will fall. Yuragi's still alive and kicking. He's trying to kick the enemy away from here, but Yuragi himself in trouble. Needs the help from the IO. The Vestal is going to reduce the skilling, though. And with the SabeRLighT, he's going to be killed. Seb goes up to the high ground with one last headset, has magic wands for the shackles, but they have no fall.
They're bailing.
Seb is just going to be sacrificed, as Amar does not want to fight a hopeless fight.
This is what we needed from TSM, to be able to, like, draw out fight until BKBs are down and then come back into the fight. They did use 2 buybacks. Once again, SabeRLighT with the dying and coming back into the fight, and also Dubu. I think Fiend's Grip was not needed there, but he was a little bit afraid that Invoker might get out. See BZM, like, yeah, he managed to kill the Dubu there, and instant buyback coming up from both him and Underlord during the BKBs. Like, that's the problem, and they come through the portal. That's the big part. Like, this portal, when I first saw it, I thought it was a meme, but yeah, every single time I see it, this spell is actually insane.
Yep. And I think Dubu, he got killed by BZM in the beginning, so I had to give it back. It's a bit of spite there as well. That's why you use the...
Oh, so what does SabeRLighT need to do to Yuragi then?
Oh, I guess he has to punch him in real life at this point. SabeRLighT...
No violence. This is PG-13 stream. Cloak of Flames found by both teams. Yeah, drawn out fight, and at one point OG says, we are not gonna do it. Like, we need to bail. Seb finding an opening.
And they get Moon Meander. But TSM still thinks they can take this, which is why they burst down Taiga. Now they put the Razor to sleep. They've gotten rid of the pesky Step, sorry. But Bryle will fall here. And Timado realizing that it's not the fight to take. BZM is a bit too strong. Amar very scary as well. The 3 cores going for Roshan alone.
Man, Yuragi, he's all about that damage. Deso, Orb of Corrosion, Echo Saber. Like 29 minutes in, he's holding on to Broom Handle. That's how good this item is. To be able to have some extra attack range and also a bit of a damage and armor. They're gonna give him everything. Maybe there's a better choice for Shard.
They're actually fighting for Amar. Timado, the static link, only took 33 damage. Bryle comes back in. Amar activates the BKB. Yuragi potentially setting up the Wukong's command. He already took the Roche, so there's no reason for them to stay.
Ooh, that's a big one. Buyback from Void Spirit. They still want to make something happen. Smoke from TSM FTX. They want to find something. They want to get a kill. They just lost a big chunk of gold.
That tip was 100%. Seb promised in another lobby that he was not going to tip anymore. He clearly broke it just for that buyback.
I never believed him.
That's true. That's what Bepum said as well. As Yuragi with the vision. Pit Malice won't catch him. But they do have the option to initiate with a Fiend's Grip, sorry. BZM staying in the trees. The smoke is not successful. Moonlight Shadow now to extend this potential time for this gank for TSM. Amar, okay, he's gonna be the first to be found. But he doesn't have BKB actually, however, there's not much follow-up in terms of damage. SabeRLight is now the target here. EMP is gonna deter the aggression from TSM as OG compose themselves, wait for the BKB to come on off cooldown.
Yeah, they definitely need those BKBs. Big timing on TSM FTX, and here we go. Chaos Knight, he bought the book for himself. They need this Reality Rift Pierce's spell immunity talent to be able to just jump him and also potentially get them out of Wukong's command during the BKB. Seb.
Hex and Snakes, that's for Moon Meander. And this Axe is not going to be worthwhile. He even went for the Vlad, trying to finish up that Wraith pack we were talking about.
Well, Seb might not tip people, but he will give them high five while they're shackled. And also, he's holding on to Phase Grenade to be able to like keep vision on people, and also it's good against Moonlight Shadow. Fully focused Seb.
That's true. That's what the other teams realize when the Shaman is 5. It's essentially a 4 anyway, right? You gotta kill these supports super quickly in these fights. But OG, the cores are looking too scary. Amar especially doesn't look like an offlaner really. If you compare him to SabeRLight, the amount of damage he's doing in the fights is nowhere near.
Yuragi was holding onto Shard for a very long time, the one from Roche, and he's like, yeah, first I gotta read what it does. It's a lot of things that it does, and in the end he decided to give it to Seb.
Okay, probably the best shard this game, right?
They bought the shard. Amar bought the shard for himself, and also Invoker did, so they decided to just give it to him.
Yep. Yuragi.
Maybe there was some talk, you know, how many TIs did you win? 0? I won 2, give me the shard. It's how it works in the pubs.
That's fair. That's not like Seb. That's Nightmare from Dubu. There's the Razor. Amar. Let's go for Dubu. Once again, he's tanking the gank. How many deaths is that now for Dubu?
Radiant's current.
8 deaths. And 9
on SabeRLight.
On SabeRLight. Oof.
So who's the real support? Who's actually taking the ganks Lacoste?
I mean, it's just difficult. Not much more more to say. That buyback did cost him quite a lot.
Yep. Do you think it's this is the reason why they're letting Moonmeander go for a quote-unquote greedier build and even an aura build? They acknowledge SabeRLight just can't really recover as easily?
Probably. Maybe just thinking we need someone to be able to scale. Underlord does scale, but every single time he just dies. They're the same level, both level 18 at the moment.
Yep. That's also the farm priority kind of coming into play. The Ags as well helps him cut lanes. He finally bought that Wraith back that we saw. Damage reduction coming into play as well here. With the 30% damage reduction here. Kind of ridiculous. Only 5% nudge and everyone started buying it.
Yeah, it's all damage. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's every single piece of damage. Yeah.
And that's a bit of a problem on that item. People were not buying it. We did buff it up. I'm really glad we see it. It's also very cool to have like Pugna's Ward and that Tombstone plus the raid back.
Dire's top tower.
Gonna see OG going for a smoke here. They want to keep the pressure going. TSM, they don't want this pressure. They're just gonna Ghost push with the illusions, utilize Moon Meander's eggs to push out the lanes, and hopefully not find anyone for the next 5 or 6 minutes.
It's so much healing on this Monkey King with IO, with mech, and also Alacrity once you pop that on a Monkey King.
Well, that chart is we call it the fight readiness chart. To see if they're ready to fight. We see the BKB cooldowns, for example. Every BKB is off cooldown. And that's something Moon Meander would love to have, as Moon Meander walks away from the snakes here. They use the Fiend's Gate, though, to make sure to make it into the fight in time. But is that even going to be useful? SabeRLighT, once again left behind, killed off by Yuragi, who wants more. In the trees goes Timado.
Timado does have a BKB and Blink available. Also, TP is ready. Seems like he's just going to hide for now.
Yeah.
He's like, please, no plasma field.
He should be able to cut this lane as well. Oh, he decides not to go for it. Okay. You could have waited for like 20 more seconds, Phantasm, to cut the lane, but you're the carry, right? So you kind of want to be farming.
They still have nothing that can stop the BKB TP with. Eventually, Monkey King will probably get a Basher just to be able to deal with that.
Oh, for now,
he's thinking, yeah, I just caught a glimpse. He had a refresher on Monkey for a double BKB, double Wukongs, but seems like he's going for Orchid. Maybe he feels that there needs to be a bit more lockdown for this Void Spirit, because what he does is he gets into the fight, blows up IO, then resets and comes back in one more time. And if there's no Seb, like their control is a little bit limited. It's boundless, and it's also like invoker spells. That's it.
Yeah, that allows you to deal with Bryle a little bit better, who's also not got for any sort of dispel on himself. So that also increases the value of this Orchid Bloodthorn. He's actually thinking of going for the E-Blade as well, to protect his teammates perhaps. Also dealing a bit more damage, hopefully blow up the supports quicker, which has been the biggest nuisance on OG. As you said, most of the team fight is concentrated on Seb here. Or the lockdown, rather.
Yeah, they do definitely need to go for the supports, try to kill this IO before he can get anything off. How's his buyback status? He is 100 gold short.
Well, BZM has a Blink Dagger. Well, he's gonna be fine for now. What do you think of this? Is it the normal Quasi Exhort build? When I saw Toronto Tokyo play, he always went for the Blink BKB, but is there more variation in Invokers?
I mean, eventually you're gonna get that Aghanim Scepter. They do have like Shaman to be able to hold him into it, but for now, just prioritizing cast range and because cast range is really good to be able to like deal with this Bane. One of the reasons why Dubu didn't have some really good grips, because in every single fight they find him. It's either Shaman or it's Monkey King who jumps on top of him.
Yep. Yeah, the Monkey King has been doing a better job as well, it's just so easy for him to stop that Bane every single time. Nightmares have been good for Dubu though, but you can see why he went for the Enfeeble. He knows he's not even gonna get a brain step off. The Enfeeble's much more useful in these fights.
Oh, for sure. You're playing against Monkey and Io. You want to have that Enfeeble maxed out after you put the points in the Nightmare. Brain Sap, usually 2 points in it during the laning stage is more than enough. Because you don't get the levels as a hero.
Yeah, you also can't deep push, right? So there's not really a way for Bane to recover this game. As Moon Meander, what do you think is next? Because now he's bought the 4 stuff, right? We're kind of done with the sporting items. Do you think there's going to be the Lotus Orb we talked about now?
He's gonna get the gold. Like, he does farm a lot, which means that someone on his team is not getting the farm.
That's SabeRLighT.
Yeah, so I mean it's difficult for him. He dies, they do focus him down in the fights. He does not have any kind of escape mechanism other than the Fiend's Gate, but there's a decent amount of lockdown inside of OG to be able to pin him down and just kill him. Thinking about either Lotus Orb or Hex, these are like 2 expensive items, but
oh, what? Timado blinked in. He saw Taiga and he wants to punish him. Does he have enough damage? Goes more quick. The Ghost Center saves him. Bryle came in to make sure that Taiga does die here. And this craziness from Timado was followed up by his teammates.
Oof. Fortunately for him, there was a follow-up, and this is what Void Spirit does. Goes in every single time, kills Io. He found the Timeless Relic as well. Probably the best item you can find on Void Spirit, just to be able to get those long-duration silences to...
I'm pretending that I don't see it.
Yeah, that was wild by Timado, honestly. Really good Blink Dagger. There we see the Deafening Blast right coming into play, I think it was.
There's enough AoE to deal with CK illusions. We haven't seen CK go like full force where he is just like not contested at all. Scotty down on Monkey King as well for quite some time. So that's going to be like one of the reasons why Underlord is also dying.
Yep. He's going for the Abyssal, though. Is that the build here when you're...
On who?
On Underlord. I'm kind of surprised. Usually you do this.
Go.
This is the Amar build. Usually do this when you win a little bit more. But SabeRLighT, he's hopeful. He's hopeful to survive here as well. Dubu is trying to save him, and the Wukong's command, fortunately, kind of wasted there. They can just walk out. Dubu always covering him, just in case.
Yeah, I don't know about the Basher. He didn't buy anything, probably gonna change his mind. He bought this Vanguard. Maybe he wants to play the game. I'll try to lock him down during the BKB.
Sure.
You also don't have a attack speed. I got phase.
Rock back, stun, then kill. Can they turn this into something else, though? The Moonlight Shadow's up right after that smoke. SabeRLighT still smoked as well. His scan, and see nobody with it. But did you see Roche? That's going to work out nicely, as the Roche is going to be the target here now for TSM. Realizing, oh, actually, whatever. Let's leave. No point in the Roche. Actually, let's go for a fight instead. BZM in the high ground, tornadoing up that shield. Bryle wanting to keep his distance. You do not want to fight into the Radiant high ground right now, which makes the Roche much scarier. Sunstrike is going to constantly be scouting them. Estimado is trying to finish off the Arcane Blink. I've seen this once before on the CK as well. It's been kind of a popular-ish item on the hero.
Yeah, people are usually opting to go for the Strength Blink, but I think we saw one or two being bought throughout the major.
Yep.
And now inside the pit they go.
They do indeed. Zamar, he got scouted by the Pit of Malice. The thing is, TSM is not a fast Roche team. I mean, they're kind of fast if they can all commit to it. This is scary for them. You know that OG can jump any second. They're playing between those Sunstrike sticks. BZM actually really far from the team, but he has a boots of travel.
Right back is down.
It is down. Sunstrike will scout them out. Amar is the first to go in, but that was a bait. Hopefully, Jiragi also jumps straight into the pit. That's the Wukong's command set up. They want to fight inside that circle as the TSM leaves immediately. Moonlight Shadow, and up to the high ground they go. Reset the fight. Go for Amar now. Amar's been pummeled to death. BZM low on mana as well. A Boundless Strike allows him to TP away without being stunned, but Jiragi will not be so lucky. Reality Rift in 3 seconds. That BKB is not going to do much anyway.
Enemy's Chief.
Oh, he nudged
that was so close. He tried to cut it down one more time with the Fiend's Gate, but unsuccessful. Shaman did not have buyback there. It was on cooldown, and we see the power of this level 20 Reality Rift pierces BKB. It's just an probably, I'm going to call it the best, like top 3 best talents, at least level 20 in the game. And also Wraith Pact plus Underlord's aura, it's a lot of damage mitigated. SabeRLighT finally gets to use his BKB. Bryle is doing so much work on his Void Spirit, being able to jump into backlines, not care too much about any of these stuns. And Timado, he pops the ulti and then comes back into the fight.
I like the play a lot, right? The resetting so they could get the high ground advantage, then coming back in, killing the Razor immediately. SabeRLighT though, it's been caught now. But EMP plus those BKBs. He does have a cheese, and the BKB is going to be used first. That's Taiga dying, a bit hopeful there, Taiga. SabeRLighT feeling stronger, feeling like he's delivering retribution.
We do have some level 25s. Dissimulate stuns for 175, add extra stun from Timeless Relic, extra 20% debuff, so that's over 2 second stun.
Nice.
And CK also hit level 25, so even more
Chaos Strikes.
Chaos Strikes, yeah. That's gonna hurt. And this Scotty, like, it does cripple these range cores, both Invoker and also Razor, and it's extremely effective against Monkey King as well.
Jiragi, he was playing around with Bryle, but he was forced to use Nose BKB. And Bryle didn't use his because he didn't have one.
Radiant's bottom
Trying to pop that A on this, not going to happen.
Radiant's bottom
Jiragi going for Nullifier does have enough gold to actually buy it. He wants to be able to walk onto this Void Spirit and kill it. Like, they do have Ethereal Blade, they do have Force Staff on Mirana, so wants to be able to dispel those things, and also one Force Staff on Bane.
A lot of unspent gold also on BZM, who is deciding to go for the Scythe of Ice himself.
They need that lockdown. They definitely do need it.
Arcane Blink finished on the CK. What's the strength of this item on the CK?
as I said, people are going for Strength Blink because it's the coolest looking one. Like it's just for 6 seconds, but yeah, I think like debuff amplification and like cast point reduction, because his cast point with the shard got reduced. So I think that's also why. Like mana cost wise, when you go for Scotty, you do have enough mana on this hero, but it's also just a benefit.
As you said, the style points is obviously the
yeah, that's very important.
Yeah. Intelligence not really used for Timado, but at this point, I don't think he needs too many stats. And it's actually also going to be Arcane Blink, or at least you're already thinking about it. That's interesting. That will set up Wukong's command faster, right? It should affect that. Or is the setting up of the monkeys also not a cast point?
That's a good point, Avo. This is straight up 50-50. Maybe I can get away with lying. You know, maybe I get it right. So I'll say no. Okay. But yeah, cool. We have to see if he decides to go for it. Nullifier is done. Still very far away from it. He also got level 25 in the previous fight. So that means that he does have an extra Wukong's command ring. It's gonna be big. Gonna be beautiful.
Maybe that way they need less stuns, right? Because they can finally trap him inside. That's been their issue. They just outrun the Monkey King here. TSM's positioning has been really on point, and the amount of mobility they bought this game has helped him out a lot. Wraithback also pretty strong against these zone out spells, right? Because you can't really go out of it.
No one's gonna go inside a fight and try to like focus it down, especially during the BKB. And that's why the item is so powerful.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
That's why Pugna's also so powerful, as we saw last game as well. Scythe the Bice completed. All right, the catch is coming, Lacoste. OG is literally building their team fight right now. Oh, Bryle did not know about this Hex, though.
Aeon Disc.
He does have the Aeon Disc, that's true.
They procced it. It's now 2 minutes that they can play around. That was a good play from BZM.
It was. Literally no commitment, and you even used the Fiend's Gate for that.
We can't.
But now they're top, using the Moonlight Shadow. Fiend's Gate? OG, they know something is up. Amar does have a refresher, finally. Amar is kind of the carry of this game. The secondary.
Yeah, he does play that way. He used to be a mid laner, right? So he's like, well, I'm not going to be a 3. Oh, they always do this tri-core lineup for them, especially with his Razor. That shard, I've seen a lot of Razors, by the way, start to pick up the shard a lot in this tournament. Do you think there's people start seeing its value, or was there any specific upgrade?
There was no changes to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised.
Me too. I would personally say it's not that good, but
sure. I loved it, actually. I think the 1.5 seconds of like slow when they hit you with a stun or something can be a nuisance in the early. Now, obviously, not so much.
A little bit of damage as well on top of that. I mean, it's not an S tier shard. I would put it somewhere in the middle, probably. Maybe even down below. It's not a Skyrat made shard that's completely useless. Does absolutely nothing.
Oh, I forget about that one. It's on a Bloodseeker Axe level of terrible, right?
Yep. And here we have it. Abyssal Underlord. I guess that's why he's called Abyssal Underlord, because he does have Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, it's in the contract. That's why Amar started building it. You get a special power-up, unlock the synergy. He also got level 25, which means more Pit of Malice room. BZM. He's been seen by the enemy. A Boundless Strike avoided by the Phantasm. They hexed up Bryle. They want to cook him. There's no way on this time. And Bryle will get it to simulate off. Just barely, however, he does die regardless to do this residual damage from the Meteor.
That was so close. Like, that he had 7 or 8 seconds left on this Aeon Disc. They do manage to kill him. He was thinking about going for Revenant Approach on Void Spirit, but now with the initiation, he changed his mind. He's like, well, maybe I need Linken's, maybe I need to be able to protect myself from the initial jump, from the Hex, and there's also a secondary Hex now on BZM.
Yeah, the secondary Hex is going to help the team fight a fair amount, especially because now it's not Shaman who has to be the one to go in first and most likely die, right? BZM can tank a couple more spells. It's been helping them out to get Bryle. Of course, triggering the Aeon Dusk is crucial here. And we might see a similar play tried again by OG. However, both teams, we knew this was going to happen, Lacoste, though. These teams like to bide their time. They play
They do. Yeah. One more thing to notice. Ooh, he's cutting things out with the arrow. TSM, he's stuck.
He has no TP either. There's the Fiends get used. With the Deafening Blast, he starts to escape. In fact, more people come by to help him. The reload kit brings Amar. Amar, is he just going to be sacrificed here? Relay out of the rift? He is almost going to die. They need one back. They got it. The Abyssal Blade comes into play. But Uragi, he still wants to fight this. Gets them off with Alacrity. Seb joins as well. Nullifier for this Underlord. Wraithback is protecting him. They break the Wraithback quickly.
Got the cheese off.
They haven't broken it yet. SabeRLighT tanked a fair amount thanks to that Wraithback, who actually outlasted them.
They're not done. This is going to be an easy pickoff for them. Seems like OG is backing off. This Wraithback is doing one hell of a work in these fights. Just being able to reduce the damage, atrophy aura on top of that. They used the Force Staff. That was fight without the Void Spirit. So they took the fight pretty much 4 versus 5. They do manage to lock down onto Razor and straight up kill him. One thing that I wanted to say is, like, can we see Moon Meander's damage? Because he does have the other talent, the Starstorm. That's pretty insane.
Is that the...
That's the level 25 talent. I was about to say it when the fight started.
Oh my goodness, that is...
All right, I take that back. Whatever I said, the bad things about Mirana and the Aghanim Scepter, he's been super involved, and he's also been living in a lot of these fights.
Yeah, he's hard to catch. The Scythe of Ice was hoping to fix that. I'm assuming we're going to see no... In fact, Moon is not even scared of that. He's going to go directly for the Scythe of Ice himself. Counter-hexing with his own Hex.
Yeah, just like when the BKBs are down, to have this Ethereal Blade and use Sacred Arrow and another Starstorm, that's just like 1500 burst damage.
What is that? Yeah, it is. Very awkward Meteor there to just take down the creep wave. No Meteors on cooldown though now, so which will make this Roche easier, but 8 more seconds Lacoste till the Roche spawns.
Oh, cutting it out.
Yeah,
8,000 gold on Invoker. He's thinking about getting the full refresher just to have a double Hex, double BKB, double Radiant Blast.
Yep, it's my favorite. It's the Mozart Invoker, right? Just gonna play like a pianist for a while. I have to use both hands. Sunstrike does got the Roche. The Curry doesn't get vision in the Roche pit anymore, so that's not gonna help.
That was so funny. Everyone had careers inside a pit. I mean, a lot of these things do get changed, but we do abuse them for a while. Monkey got scouted.
Yeah, he did. And in fact, the high ground advantage is still for OG, but Taiga got bursted so quickly they lost it. As soon as it came, Seb, 2 hits.
DD.
And now, chances are they can go for the Roche. They just see it with the Aether Remnant. This Roche also carries the Ags. Who's missing Ags in this team? It's just CK and Underlord.
Or they're gonna give it to. I mean, they can have a dispel mechanic with the CK, but they can also have like a bit of malice. Yeah, it's gonna be CK. Some extra stats on him as well. Makes sense.
The spell is pretty nice, honestly. You have a couple of things. You also disjoint things like Shackles, right? Because you get the 1 second of invulnerability.
Yes. And now Void Spirit, Refresher Shard. So double Eon Disc, double Linken's, 4 charges on Resonant Pulse. This is going to be very, very difficult for OG to take the fights.
Yes, it is. An OG that we talked about how they like to play it safe. They don't want to make these mistakes. They waited for that one fight, for example, in the game against Pep Boom, and they turned it all around. But that one fight has to be perfectly executed here, as the stakes are higher, and the 27k lead by TSM looming over them. It's mostly the Mirana, actually. Moonmeander is the 3rd most farmed hero in the game, man.
It paid off. He got a really good timing on that Aghanim Scepter. It was, what, 20, 21 minute Ags on Mirana? And now almost has enough to finish off the Hex. For now, just saving a buyback. 5 slotted.
Oh, Ragi. They won't cast, right? Huh? He's baiting. The Wukong's command from behind he comes. And the target is to go for SabeRLighT Nightmare. We'll give him a couple more seconds. The BKB gets active as well. All the save to get SabeRLighT out of here alive. It will work out. As TSM, we looking to reset this fight. They know Wukong's command going.
He caught him with the arrow.
With the arrow. Amar, he is down. No offlaner for OG. No 4 either.
Under attack.
There is a buyback on both of them, but no Wukong's command. They will need to use those buybacks because TSM, they will go for the high ground. BKB is still available for Tomato if he wants to put it in his inventory.
SabeRLighT now, he got the strength fling, the coolest looking one, and that scared you on your way. They got it with the Aetherwind as well. Now the Aethos, he's been saved a little bit by the E-Blade, but the damage from the magical sources is too high. They will be able to at least get rid of the CK. Timado still stuck in those snakes. Do they have any way of getting him out of there?
He got out. He managed to blink out.
Well played. BKB just in case as well, huh?
Triple buyback from OG there, and I mean, they did save the barracks, but 35k gold lead for TSM FTX, and now using Portal to heal up and come back into the fight.
Oh, Bryle, in fact, thought of going for Taiga, and thanks to SabeRLighT's sacrifice, they will get it. SabeRLighT now been hexed. Timado actually joins him again. SabeRLighT will die for this. Bryle, he needs an escape plan. He found it with the Simulate. He gets away. The BCM still chasing, though. Actually, ignore Moon Meander.
No BKB
grows. Feed Strip destroys BCM. And Uriah stunned the high in the trees as well. No chance to use Wukong's command. Amar joins here for nothing as he's now being chased out. E-Blade to slow him. Tornado EMP at least giving him more time, but Amar knows his death is all.
Arrow is gonna snipe him. The Starstorm. Man, Moon Meander is doing so much work. Can we see the damage one more time in this fight? Because Moon Meander is completely popping off.
Yes, he is.
You know, CK did his work, and so did Void Spirit this time around. But yeah, Moon Meander keeping up there with the two other cores inside of TSM FTX. BZM pops a BKB. Oh, if he finds him there.
Oh, they found at least the Shaman. Not bad either. Goodbye, Shaman. Seb is down for 80 seconds, but he does have buyback. He's going to be forced to use it at this rate as TSM is knocking at their door. Timado will be taking this tier 3 kind of solo as the rest of the team, they're dividing it. Bryle going for the mid lane as well. Nope, it's going to be tier 4s directly. They want at least force buybacks. They don't know if the enemy team has them entirely or not.
No buyback on two other cores of OG. They will go. They will try to finish it. Seb's grip with the axe.
That's done. Seb, that's a dieback. It's only an Invoker and Io now. How can they defend this? Invoker does have a good high ground defense, but the pianist really has to come out and play. BKB up in 4 seconds, or pressure also available. Taiga is going to be the target here. Taiga going to the fountain. They've hacked his Invoker. Hey, to get him up. They can't.
He's coming in as well, just to be shown on the last screen. Oh man, what a game. What a game from TSM FTX. OG, they were in the lead. They just couldn't benefit from, like, it was a